Shalom, shalom. Slacking. Shalom. I'd like to start off giving all honor and glory and praise and worship to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWSHI, HAQADASH. Double honors to our apostles and our elders of great millstone who will teach us sound doctrine. Strong shalom to the hopeful elect and the rest of us. March 1 to the million children of the Lord. Have mercy on these last days. HAQADASH representing Jim as Bertrand of Cleveland, Lord willing, to bring out a quick and edifying lesson through the spirit and power of YAHWAH, YAHWSHI. And the title is "You Are What You Eat," because Shalaki, my voice kind of like fell asleep, but Spirit was on me, so it said you are what you eat. So this pertains to, you can apply this to physical and carnal means, such as your health. Your diet is shitty, and if your diet produces death, all right, then you become that. But if your diet produces life, in terms of, you eating things that live, like seeds and, vegetables and fruits, and, you're drinking the things that give you life and extend your life. And that's what you ultimately attain. You know what I'm saying? You eat life, you get life. You eat death, you get death. And that applies with knowledge and information. I'm gonna just say information because the knowledge of this world, like the scripture says, is not wisdom at all. So the wisdom of this world is not wisdom at all. So I'm gonna say information, All right, but the information you receive, that's what you become, The information, whatever doctrine you prescribe to, that's what you live by. That's the code. That's the code and conduct of that you live by in your life. So it's important to eat the doctrine of life. It's important to eat the ways of the Lord. This is Proverbs. Because what you're gonna find out is when you eat of YAHWAH, you live. See Proverbs, and I know this is Fair Use Act. Fair Use Act. I don't own the rights to this image. Just thought it was pretty nice because it had the menorah and it had the tree of life, which represents the tree of life with the living water. With the menorah being lit. That's mighty. Um, this is Proverbs 23:6. Eat thou not the bread of him that have an evil eye. Right. And let me check this out real quick. Salaki. Right. Okay, cool. So it says, Proverbs 23:6, eat thou not the bread of him that have an evil eye. Right? The information that he prescribes to, okay, and that he upholds and that he lives by. Don't eat of that bread. You see? Don't eat of him that has corrupt ways. If you eat that, that's what you become. It says, eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. Right? Don't desire the things that he have to offer you. Okay, the sweet things. Okay. Which are attached to his doctrine. Anything that you prescribe to in your life has a doctrine behind it, is attached to some doctrine. You see, it comes down to what you serve, right? Everything outside of YAHWAH is false, man. No matter what God it is, no matter what concept you go, no, if it's outside of Yahawah, YAHAWSHI, Yahweh BAHASHAM, YAHWSHI, it's of evil, it's wicked, you know. So it's the proper information that we receive and we live by. Okay, determines on whether we live or not. All right. It says, "Eat thou not the bread of him that have an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats." Why? It says, "For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he." Right. Your heart is your mind. Okay, your life, which also is it. Your mind eats too. So the information that you feed it is what it eats. For as he thinketh in his mind, right? So is he. Now that's because that's, for example, prime example is um what's the guy name? The guy that played on the Woods, that's Stacy, the brother. Well, he actually come from a good background, and then him playing all the movie roles of gangsters, of being a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Being a gangster and killing and doing that, right? He did it so well. They said he did such a good job that he took on them roles personally in his real life, man. He started gang banging for real. And he ain't come from that background. And to the point he ended up, I think, murder somebody or kill somebody, whether it was defense or not, I don't know. I forgot, Salakia, but the point is that he ended up killing somebody for real or murdering somebody, one of the two. But his roles that he was playing translated into his life because that's what he consumed, the information wise, and that's what he prescribed to. You see, he gave himself unto it, and that became him. So therefore, he went down the road of a path of death, man. You know, so that's an example of consuming, all right, and becoming it. It says, "For as he thinketh," and what the scripture is saying, "For as he thinketh in his heart, his mind, so is he." Eat and drink, said he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. The morsel which thou hast eaten, shalt thou vomit up and lose thy sweet words. So whatever you consume, that's what you become, man. You know, it's important for us to consume the correct thing so that we can live, you know, because when it's all said and done, when trouble is at its height, whatever we consume the whole time, all right, if I was eating healthy the whole time, when the toughest battle or the toughest opponent come, I'll be able to outlast. I will be able to endure. You know, like if you think in terms of a fight, like fighting or like something to that effect. Whoever has the better conditioning. See, we're training spiritual training, so we're gonna have the better condition, Lord willing, or in the spirit to be able to last during Jacob's trouble, man. All right, Lord willing. So you are what you eat, and this matter of fact, let me uh yeah, because let me show you this, because in Job 34 and 3 it says, "For the ear trieth words as the mouth tasted meat." You see? For the ear trieth words as the mouth tasted meat. You see? So what you hear, all right, it's the same as you eating physical food. It's a consumption of minerals, all right, rather good or rather bad for the body. Just like the information we receive in our mind, you know, is good or is it either gonna be good or bad, either gonna be bad or beneficial to our minds, or which ultimately, what I'm saying, translate to the rest of the body. You see, this is why we can see stuff. Now we started to see things for what it is in the real life. We have a different understanding than the people in the world because we've been on a proper diet from whenever time brothers woke up. You've been on a proper diet, and you started to heal. You started to heal. Your body started to heal. You started to remember. You started to recover. Everybody else is still dead. Because of the food that they're consuming, which are these idols and these the doctrines and philosophies and these false science and pseudoscience. and all these different religions that these people uphold to, man. Specifically starting with Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, really going into just really Israel, you know what I'm saying? So our people is far gone, man, and the people too, man. Because everybody's gonna know the Lord, man. Everybody's gonna everybody's gonna have to keep the high holy days, man. You know, it's gonna be order on the earth. Sabbath is gonna be honored. But yeah, so the words try it says Job 34:3 for the ear tries words as the mouth tastes of meat. Oh, real quick, Sirach 19:19. It says the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. You see? So the ways of Yahawashi it said is the doctrine of life, right? If we eat this or this tree, right, we should live. It says they in the latter part of that verse, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. So if we eat a Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi, Yahweh Yahawashi, we can't die. We'll never die. You know, Yahweh Yahawashi literally is the fountain of life. You know, it's like say you got a pool. I ain't gonna say a pool, but say you got like a certain portion of the land that upholds just the fountain of life, and then around it everything else is just the regular earth and stuff. So when you put your hand in there, your hand look young, like teenage years, and you probably like 80 years old. Now that's what Yahweh Shai is like. Not comparing it to a lesser, entity, but I'm saying like essence, I should say. I'm just trying to give an example of like we're gonna be separate from the rest of the world. It's gonna be like we jumped in that fountain of life and we just never came out. Like how Shai is gonna be embedded in us, all right, when we reach the full with the new covenant, right, and the fulfillment of the prophecies, man. You know, so the way of the Lord is immortality. This is what everybody else is trying to attain. Uh, because Yahweh Shah said, because he ultimately is what he is the fountain of life, man. When he talking about the bread, he's the way, he's the bread. All right. Um, Let me see if I can get that real quick. And he talking about the water. He's the fountain. He's the drink. We're gonna get that in John real quick. Let me get this. This is Galatians 6. Because ultimately, you know, anything else, you know, outside of Yahweh Shai is attached to the flesh, which is why I'm grabbing this because it's attached to the flesh. The doctrines that's outside of Yahweh Shai is attached to death, and because the flesh is attached to death. The current state of man is death. These bodies die. We have to receive new bodies according to 1 Corinthians 15, right? Only for Israel, who I'm referring to, Galatians 6:8. For he that soweth to the flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. For he that soweth to the spirit shall of the spirit reap life everlasting. You see, so the life everlasting, when you go to St. John 4:14, it says, let me start at 13. Yahweh shall answer and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again, right, of this well that they were at. And it says 14, for whosoever drinketh the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. You see? So YAHWSHI was referring to himself as such. And we just read in Galatians 6 that when you sow to the spirit shall reap everlasting. So showing you that YAHWSHI is that spirit that we must reap on, is that spirit that we must sow unto. You know what I'm saying? We must sup with that spirit. We must sup with YAHWSHI in order to obtain a crown of everlasting life, right? So yeah, so that, but you have to be on correct doctrine. It is the correct doctrine in the earth. It is the doctrine of the heavens, the true doctrine of the heavens, of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai is in the earth, and we have that doctrine. You know, whether you want to like it, believe it or not, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. So it's we got it. You get the proper breakdowns, you get the proper you know things that are needed for salvation. In terms of the doctrine. Doctrine is very important to our salvation. When you go real quick, let me come back to that. This is St. John 6 and 50. Um, St. John 6 and 53. It says, "Then your house shall say unto them, Verily, I say, verily, verily, meaning surely, surely, I say unto you, except you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink of his blood, you have no life in you. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood and have eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. For my flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. He that eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood dwelleth in me, and I in him. As the living fathers have sent me, and I live by the Father. So he that eateth me, even he shall live by me. This is that bread which came down from heaven. Whew. Not as your fathers that eat manna and are dead. See? He that eateth of this bread shall live forever. So it matters what you consume. It matters what you eat. Yahweh Shai is referring to himself as the way of life. All right, the way unto Yahweh, who is immortal, who has no beginning or end. He's telling you that he's the way, the path that leads unto that life, or lead unto the oneness of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai. He's the way. He's the way into life, man, everlasting. So and that's why he said that this is not the same as the carnal bread, all right, that your fathers ate, right, that resulted in death. You know, this is not that. This is of the spirit. You know, this is of the spirit. This is So anything outside of that, you know, anything outside of that is evil. So when you go back to St. John 4, we probably close out St. John 4 and 31. In the meanwhile, his disciples prayed him, saying, Master, eat. But he said unto them, I have meat to eat that ye know not of. Therefore said the disciples one to another, Hath any man brought him aught to eat? Yahushua said unto them, My meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work. And um that's the meal that we have. All right, the meal we have is to do the will of the Lord. All right, and to finish our work. You know, like if like when you sow into this flesh, like the things in this world, thinking carnally, that's why the people they have the attitudes that they have, the sluggishness, the laziness, all these things that you see happening is the result of the things that they consume in their body, information like in their body physically, and in the information that they're consuming. All right, that's outside of the truth. That they participate in daily. So these people, their bodies are, you could tell on their spirits, man, that they're not eating of life. They're dying. We're watching the people die. All right, all around us, man, to the point that the Lord is gonna have to burn them off, man. You know, so that's the time. That's what we're getting ready to approach, man. So the Lord is going to come back and find faith on earth unto those specific spirits that He's destined to receive salvation and of the first fruit. You know, the Lord is going to come back and gather those who look like Him. You know, who supped with Him. Yahushua said, "I stand at the door and knock." In Revelations. You know, sup. We got to sup with the Lord. You know, we got to consume the Lord daily. You know what I'm saying? He said, "This is my daily bread." You know, in Matthew 6. You know, so this is our daily bread. We got to consume this daily. You know what I'm saying? So that we won't be consumed by the world. So Lord willing is edifying, um, whether in the truth or out the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's important what you consume in your mind, right? And it's only one way. So it's only in the truth with the correct doctrine, right? In the spirit of power, Yahawashi. So Yahawashi. So Lord willing, this is edifying. I'd like to give all honor and glory and praise and worship to Yahawashi, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. That honors again to our apostle, is a great millstone, great millstone, who will teach you our sound doctrine, strong shalom to the hopeful elect, and large multitude of men and children of the Lord. Have mercy on these last days. Again, it's your brother Kadash. Until next time, shalom. Shalom.